Hello and welcome to my channel. Like the rest of the world, last night I had my emotional core rocked when Miss Adele came back from her hiatus and gave us her new song, Take It Easy on Me. She said she was going to release that song today, but she ended up releasing it a day earlier along with the music video. And I don't think anybody was upset. I mean, as usual, her music is poignant. It is incredibly, like, it's always going to be very well performed and very well sung. And I think for those of us who grew up in the time of like the balladeers, so like Celine Dion, Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey, like when people would be on the radio tearing into a ballad, like, you know, they're not making just songs, and I sound like an old grandmother right now, but they're not just making songs so, you know, people can dance through them real quick for a dance challenge on social media. They are making songs that are meant for you to torch, sing to your heart's content at the nearest karaoke bar that you can find. These are songs that, like, to this day, you know, I never having really been in like choirs, but never having like done any of the serious singing training or anything like that. Like I, like so many other people, learned how to, like, what your voice can sound like and what it can do from listening to these big voices. So Adele is, like, for me, she's a hearkening back to that. So I think that's why I'll always love really anything that she does. I mean, she has some skips. When I listen to her albums, I do skip some, but I've been an Adele fan, honestly, since 2008 with Chasing Pavements. I remember hearing that and thinking she was so cool, and then going to see her, I think it was at House of Blues here where I live in Texas. And my friend made me so mad because she got there late, and I had to, you know, like when it's general admission standing room only, I had to leave where I was and like go back and get her and come back to the front. But we got our places back and it was fine. But yeah, I've been a fan of Adele forever, and I think her appeal is timeless. And so people were ready for that song. They were joking on social media that they need to find someone and break up with them in order to really enjoy her music, because that's usually what she sings about, is like heartbreak. There's 2 times in my life where an Adele song has really identified with me, like as far as the heartbreak angle of it. The first time is 2012. I was deeply in love with this person, and it was unrequited. So when I heard I heard that you, like, I was like and I remember I went to a karaoke bar, and they were like, and what are you gonna sing? What are you gonna sing? And I was like, I'm singing Someone Like You. I'm singing it. And it was a pretty good little performance, because it came from the spirit, because I knew what that was like to feel that. And no, I still have not found someone like the person, but I'm still looking. Also in 2015, I think this was on the same album. I think so. But let me check real quick. Okay. Yes, 2015, the album, I believe it was called 25. She had both Hello and she had When We Were Young. All right. So 2015, I ended up like leaving some really close college friendships. Like I'd had them, we'd rolled really hard for like 10 years. And all of a sudden, you know, we kind of looked at each other and it was like, we're not the same people we were. Our friendship has changed. Some arguments have happened, some things have happened, some bridges have been burned. We really can't go back. So we had actually stopped talking, and for a while we'd stopped talking. And so then when Adele came out with this, and she was like, she had this song all about calling somebody from the past, like, hey, you know, it's me. I was wondering if you had a chance to talk. Life has been, you know, whatever. You know the lyrics. But I was like, man, yes. And I actually did not attempt to reach out by phone. I did send like an email or two just to kind of like clean things up. But also when she did When We Were Young, because that, you know, I was that same period of time separating for those friendships. Like I was just thinking about, oh man, like let me photograph, you know, the times that we had together in my mind, because let me make sure I keep them, because we're not together now, and we never will be like we were again. So yeah, whenever an Adele song comes out, it really coincides usually with something that I'm dealing with in my personal life. And this song is no different. And the thing I think that's interesting about this song is She wrote this song about divorce. In fact, she did an Instagram live a few days ago when people asked her, "Hey Adele, what's your new album going to be about?" And she said this:
divorce, babe, divorce.
And she's done some interviews, where she talked about, she did an interview with British Vogue where she kind of talked about, her divorce and the fact that, like, nothing really dramatic happened. She just realized she needed to separate from this person, and how coming to that realization was still really hard because obviously, like, she had high hopes. I remember her doing an interview after Someone Like You and her being like, yeah, I was in a bad place, but now I found my person and I never need to feel that way again. So she had really high hopes, and then she gets divorced. And she has this really sad story about how her little boy looked at her one day and was like, I can't see you anymore, mommy. Like, I feel like you're not yourself. You're not the mommy that I know and love. And, she tells it a little bit different in the interview. But, so she just comes out and she's like, I had to get a divorce because being in that relationship was not, I wanted my child to see me really loved and really happy, and that relationship wasn't it. And for me, because I've never been in that situation, I've never had to get a divorce. Obviously, I've never been married. But what I got from that was that whole interview and then listening to the song. What I got from that is, as a kid, before you do things, or as a young person, before you do things, you do have these high hopes. And then you might come to a situation where you're like, I gotta get out of this. This did not turn out how I thought it was going to be. And, like, I've tried. And then, there's that separation there, and that can be very, very painful, separating yourself from what you thought was going to happen, and stepping into what is actually happening. I just was listening to that song last night, and about my 30th or 40th time listening through it, I was like, man, this is such a great song for anybody who, regardless of, like, stepping away from a romantic relationship, just for anybody who got into a situation, thought it was going to look one way, and tried their best and had to leave. And because they had to leave, they're filled with regret. They're filled with remorse. They're filled with some shame. But they know in their heart of hearts it was the best thing for them to do. Some lyrics of this song that really, really stuck out to me were, first of all, I am so jealous of songwriters who can write just, like, really, tightly, and they have, like, these really strong, whatever, the song is written well. I don't write songs. I don't actually. I used to have a little notebook that I carried around with me when I was like 18 or 19, and then I lost it. But let's see. So, lyrics that stuck out to me. When she says, there's no gold in this river, and I've been washing my hands in it forever. And so if you don't know what she's referring to there, it's like when people would go and they would go looking for gold, and they would put their little pans in the water and just, like, kind of see, like, what flakes, came up in their little pans when they were doing whatever, looking for gold. But this idea of, I'm putting my English teacher hat on for this one. Water actually represents, a lot of the time when we talk about, like, symbolism, water represents emotions. And obviously, like, yellow or gold represents happiness, right? There's no more happiness left here in these emotions. And I've been trying. I keep going back to that well and trying to get it out, and I can't get it out. Love that. Next thing I really like is she says, I know there's hope in these waters, but I can't bring myself to swim. So it's like, I know if I go back into my emotional well, somewhere I'm gonna feel hopeful again, but I can't do it now. I cannot do it now. I've got to find another way to do it. Next thing I love, obviously, I'm going to just skip forward a little bit. I love the chorus, right? When she says, go easy on me, I was still a child. And so obviously, like, when people are talking about this song, they're like, she's talking to her ex-husband, she's talking about divorce. But I looked at that and I was like, I look at myself, when I look at situations that I've gone through, and I'm like, oh my God, go easy on yourself. You were still a child, and not a child in the sense of, you were a baby making decisions, but you didn't have the maturity that comes with the perspective of experience. So you were still a child. So go easy when you're looking back and judging yourself for what happened in your past. And then I love when she says, I didn't get the chance to feel the world around me. So, like, again, when I think of feeling the world around you, all those different experiences that do help build that mature perspective. If you haven't gotten there yet, you're going to make certain decisions that reflect that. So she's saying I hadn't had that chance yet. And then finally, when she says, I had no time to choose what I chose to do, that hit me like a ton of bricks. I posted this on my social media actually in fall of 2018. And it says, forgive yourself for not knowing better at the time. Forgive yourself for giving away your power. Forgive yourself for past behaviors. Forgive yourself for the survival patterns and traits you picked up while enduring trauma. Forgive yourself for being who you needed to be. And when I heard her say, I had no time to choose what I chose to do, my brain was like, ooh, those are the same sentiments. I was doing my best with the information that I had. And so there's no reason for me to walk around with a bunch of shame or being sad or disappointed at what I did. I really did. For what it's worth, in that moment, I was trying to do my best, even if it didn't look great. You know what I mean? Even if it didn't look like I was giving 100%. I was, based on who I was at that time. So go easy on me being me. I really, really like the song and I wanted to make a video about it. Right now I'm in a period of my life, and I think I've been there since the pandemic really, where I've been doing a lot of reflecting, especially, this month with me sharing some of my spooky dating stories. And I go back and look at them, or like I'll read y'all's comments, and there's a lot of, oh, you should have done this, or I go back and I look at it and I'm retelling the story and I get anxiety. I'm like, did I do that? Whoa, why, what? And then I just think, I was listening to this song, it was like, go easy. You were in the middle of so many different emotional upheavals. You were in the middle of so many different realities. You were coming from a very special type of history, your own history, that nobody else shares with you but you. Go easy. You were still a child. You did not have the perspective that maturity brings, but you have it now. So go easy when you reflect. Don't be ashamed. Don't carry around disappointment. Don't carry around guilt. Acknowledge what happened and go easy. So I hope you have a wonderful weekend of being overly emotional listening to this song or whatever other song you choose to listen to. And I hope that when you get in a period of your life where you are being, reflective and thinking back and maybe being hard on yourself about something that you could have done better or something that you didn't do right or so on and so forth, I hope that you remember to take it easy. Or, as Adele would say, take it easy on. Well, you take it on yourself. Be easy. Where is that from? That's something else. I don't know where that's from. Anyway, thanks for watching.